And for those that don't know, FBA stands for Foundational Black American. If you think about it, Black American people, I'm talking about generations we are from here. Like,
Is that the same thing as ADOS?
No, because ADOS is just the descendants of slaves, where an FBA means the descendants of slaves plus any native or, Aboriginal, or I'm sorry, indigenous Black people here as well.
Okay.
So ADOS is just the descendants of slave people who came over here from Africa, whereas FBA means all Black people who are the foundation of this country.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
You say Yvette Carnell made up the DOS term. That's a good term. I'll take my hat off to her. The DOS term is a very good term. I actually like that. Descendants of slaves or descendants of slavery. Very good term. Now, I like that term. I have my differences with Yvette Carnell, but sometimes people do good things. I like that term. American DOS, descendants of slaves, descendants of slavery. All right. I'm here. That's a very good codified term. I like that. And we need to jump on terms like that. You dig? Shout out to Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. One thing I do commend them about. And Antonio, I've seen some of his videos. He brings good information.
It gives very much so, how dare you guys be over here always sacrificing for us, always letting us eat off of you, always making the way for us in this country, and now y'all want to sit and, make your own lineage, make your own culture? No. So it's very weird. It gives very much so, Black Americans saying they're African. It gives very much, you ain't African. You ain't even never been to Africa before. How you African? You ain't never been there. You Black Americans, you think that everybody from you think Africa is a country. It's a whole continent. Okay, so then when we say, fine, you're right. We've been here for hundreds of years. We developed this land. We speak the language. You're right. It's been 400 or 500 years. It's time to let it go, baby. Okay, it's time to let it go. You're right. It's time for us to go be independent and develop and make clear our own lineage and our own culture. And y'all still mad. I think people have to really check themselves when it comes to this concept. I see a lot of people saying that the concept of FBA is divisive, but all culture is divisive. There's always divides in culture. Okay, the Nigerians will sit and say, if you're not born there, raised there, know the language, you're not Nigerian. I think it's a projection. There is a lot of, when you are talking about Africa or Jamaica, I think that people from there are very strict on who they let claim themselves as that certain nationality, and they divide amongst themselves That the Nigerians born and raised in Nigeria are more Nigerian than the Akata Nigerian that are now here in America. It very much so gives projection that it is you that is actually very divisive in your culture and for your nationality. And so you assume that we are also being divisive instead of us being factual. I want to also make something else clear. I know that Tariq is the one that really made this concept more mainstream and speaks about it, but he has also made it very clear that he has no desire to be the leader or gatekeeper of this concept, that foundational Black American is a lineage. That when you can trace your lineage back to the 1700s, that you by birthright claim that. I think what happens is a lot of people associate FBA with Tariq. You can feel how you want to feel about Tariq, but you cannot let that kind of cloud your mind to make you have the issue with FBA. You cannot take a person and have your personal feelings towards them for whatever reason make you feel as though an entire concept full of millions of people is a problem. Okay, I think a lot of people feel like he is divisive because he has his foot on y'all neck, and a lot of people, another part about humans is humans tend to be able to dish out certain levels of disrespect or treatment to someone else. A lot of people can't handle it when you give it back. A lot of people can dish out all day, and then when you retaliate and you're like, oh, you got me messed up, and if you come over here it's gonna be some shit, a lot of people just start to combust when that happens. And I think a lot of you don't like Tariq because every time y'all try to come at him with the energy, he come back at you with the same or more, and you just can't handle it. That's a personal problem.
What they need to do, as far as reparations, they should have, it should be a designated plot of land or somewhere in middle America, somewhere where there's good fertile land that should be given, that should be tax free, that should be regulated to male headed households. That's my suggestion. They should get a plot of land somewhere where there's very fertile ground, fertile land, and it cannot be settled unless it's a male, a black male who's the head of the household. We can't have no single mothers on that motherfucker. See, if we implement something like that, it would have to be, it would almost get into like almost sexism, but it's not, man. We can't have that single mother shit. We got too many broken homes, and a lot of these single mothers are not held accountable. It's just too much bullshit going on in the hood, and it's a direct result of all these single mothers.
Oops. You probably should have thought of that.